5 in a row? Wagons are back on the menu. Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche Postgame Show, live from the Toyota Lounge. It's a winner's lounge powered by your Front Range Toyota dealerships. We've got AJ and Rudo coming to you as the Avs defeat the Minnesota Wild 3-2 in the shootout. Their second straight shootout win. The Avs have won 5 in a row. Before we get into any of the negatives and positives, of which I think we'll have a good number of both, first off, fantastic hockey game. Just an awesome game all the way around, especially compared to that Dallas game the other night, which ended up being very fun, but was a little bit clunky on a trade deadline day. Some weirdness going on in that game. Tonight's game, just a banger.
Yeah, it was, like diehard hockey fans always like to talk about like, oh, a 1-0 game can be great. I love a 1-0 game, but we all know that is garbage more often than not. Most 1-0 games are just bad games.
Yep.
But when you get the odd, like true, like these teams are trading chances, the goaltenders are playing awesome. We're getting great defense. The offensive guys are creating. It's just a little bit of everything is going into it. You know, you get a little bounce here, whatever, right? Like that. I love a hockey game like that. Like this was such a good game. I'm annoyed that it had to be an Avs game and I couldn't just like fully take the
immerse
step back
yourself
and be
in it.
like,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I wish I could have fully appreciated it. This is like a round 1, game 1 playoff type of game where you're like, these two teams don't like each other.
Yep.
This is going to rock. They both really want this and they're both playing well.
Yeah. Fair enough. Let's get into the 60-second rundown before we break it all down for you. First period, pretty back and forth. At times it felt like the Avs were dominating and in control. They had power plays that looked good in the first period. Nothing to show for it, though. It's 0-0 after the first, with Minnesota pushing back in the second half of it. Second period, the Avs are the first team to break through. A little bit of a mistake in the corner from Quinn Hughes. Nazem Kadri jumps on it, finds Nathan MacKinnon. Perfect shot to get it there with the Avs lead. That lead holds into the third period, where the Avs special teams come back to haunt them on their first penalty of the game. Oh, puck go net in 4 seconds. No, was it the second penalty? It might have been the second penalty. Either way,
Second.
puck go net in 4 seconds on that power play for Minnesota. And then the Avs get another power play where they give up a shorthanded goal. The Avs end up -1 for 5 on the power play. Not good, but it's more complicated than that. Nick Waugh with a great tip to tie it 2-2 late in the third period. You get through overtime. Val and MacKinnon are the goal scorers for the Avs in the shootout. And only Matt Boldy, who, by the way, holy cow, was Matt Boldy good in this game. Matt Boldy, the only shootout scorer for Minnesota, and the Avs take it down. AJ, a win is a win is a win.
Yeah.
I'm good with
and
that.
Especially like this, I had said in this previous week leading up to the Dallas-Minnesota games, if they win both the Dallas and Minnesota games, they essentially lock up the Central Division. Job done. Yep.
Just like
even
that.
with giving up the points, it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't. They gave up a point to each team. It's on the other teams.
Yep.
To chase them down, and they lost ground that they really didn't have to lose.
Yep, Minnesota
so,
especially.
As of right now, at this moment today, I think Dallas plays tonight, so this is going to change in terms of games played, maybe points. But right now, the Avalanche sit with a 9-point lead, same number of games played as the Stars, 20 games left to play. If you blow a 9-point lead in 20 games,
catastrophe.
Yeah, that's bad. That's really bad. And then their lead over Minnesota is now 10 points with 2 games in hand on the Wild.
That's virtually impossible to come back from.
It is rough. If you blow that lead, it is rough. You have done everything that you needed to do to set yourself up for a chill final week of the season.
Yep.
And I just want to say, I know this is looking ahead a little bit. Their next game is against Edmonton. Mm-hmm. And that's like Colorado Edmonton in the McDavid-MacKinnon era is always like everybody, like both sides get up for those games.
8-7 game. Really here we weird. Go.
Well, and it's really weird to think that game is like a big game between the Avalanche and a team that they have a 27-point lead on in the standings.
Jesus. A little bit more important for Edmonton than the Avs, maybe.
Yeah. Are we thinking that Colorado and Seattle game is a big deal? Because Seattle and Edmonton, they're 1 point separate them. So anyway, I just think that's funny.
Yeah, it is interesting.
The way that we talk about these two teams, and you're like, we've really underrated how bad the Pacific Division is this year.
Yeah,
and how great the Central is, because you look at both of the games that the Avalanche just played against Dallas and Minnesota. Both of them great hockey games. And you got to feel great. The Avs win both games in the shootout. I'm not, miss me with any like, man, but I took a shootout. I'm sorry, but the Avs lost shootout games to each of those teams earlier this year.
I mean, fine. I would have rather they won in regulation, but it's still a win.
Of course. But they win both games. They get the 2 points. They win both games. And for my money, outplayed each of those teams, not by much, but outplayed each of those teams at 5v5. The special teams is special teams was way better in Dallas than it was today. Today, their special teams was it was complicated.
Yeah, let's just talk about it now, because 3 of those 5 power plays were really pretty good. The first one, great movement, good chances. The second one, solid. The third and fourth ones were not good. And then the fifth one, if Jesper Wallstedt doesn't make a fantastic save, Marty Necas ties the game. Like, sure, made multiple. Like
he shuts down Marty Necas on the 4th and 5th power plays, which would have both been goals. They both should have been goals. In normal situations, they would have been goals. Wallstedt makes an amazing save on each of those shots, and then of course the shorthanded goal comes after the second one.
Yeah.
So like the Avalanche power play doesn't score today, and we're all mad about it and frustrated. But in terms of like how it actually played, if they hadn't given up the shorthanded goal, we would still be upset, because they have not earned the runway of us giving them any they played well, they just didn't score. Like, they had really good looks. And I think Marty Necas is continuing to make the argument for like he needs to stay in that spot. He's much more dangerous than Nathan MacKinnon was. This power play came alive when they made that change. Not quite full time, but it's like a most of the time change. And looking a lot better. They look a lot better. And without the goal, it's tough for us to really be like, yeah, power play. Like the power play, it had a better game until the shorty.
Right. Does how it looks matter? Yes. If you can take the positives from this and the Avs power play can continue to trend well. Yes. Good. Awesome. You cannot be okay with being -1 for 5 on the power play, no matter what it looked like. Like, just full stop cannot happen.
Can I give numbers to really speak to why?
Yeah, please do.
Like, we talk about process and how good it is and whatever, right? Minnesota had 3 power plays. These are only 5v4 numbers, so this does not include the 4v3 that happened in overtime, because those numbers
throw
are
that
always
stuff out. Yeah,
it was abbreviated in the first place because it was only like a minute or so of time, and like the way the game is played is completely differently. So these are only 5v4 numbers. The Avs, in 10 minutes of power play time, they don't score, but they have a 24-2 shot attempt advantage. 10-1 shots on goal, 15-2 in scoring chances, and 6-0 in high danger chances. They created 1.99 expected goals on those. Those are monster numbers.
Yeah, you're generating great numbers. Puck just didn't go in.
They just didn't score. Wallstedt was great. Like, that's hockey sometimes. But again, I love that the process is better. we're so far beyond caring
Yeah.
that much about it, though. Like, it's
we were beyond process
so
better
what?
20 games ago. Like,
exactly. You need to finish. And especially inside of the game situation is a 1-goal game in the third period. You have got to do your damn job. You are paid so much money to score a goal in that spot. To not do it is a failure.
Yep.
You got bailed out by Nick Waugh and Brett Kulak, which great job going and getting
what a
those
day
guys.
for the Avs new guys, by the way. We'll get to that.
My God.
But
yeah, 3 points from those cats. Delicious. But with that said, I also, because we're just talking about special teams, the penalty kill,
I
much
want to
better.
get to this.
And the goal that goes in against it. So 4 minutes and 4 seconds of power play time from the Wild. Only 8 shot attempts. That's a really low number. Only 5 shots on goal. 7 scoring chances isn't great. 2 high danger chances isn't great. Like, they got good looks. But the goal that goes in is an own goal. They gave up a power play goal in Dallas. It's an own goal. Goes off of Taves and in. And they gave up
this one is off Brent Burns sticking in.
Brent Burns is sticking in. So I really like their process has been a lot better over the last couple of games. The results are more like you got hockeyed a little bit. Like, it's a bummer. What in the world do the Avalanche have to do to get that kind of bounce? Because it's not, they need to put the puck at the net. They need to shoot more. They had 24 shot attempts on the power play today. What do you mean they need to shoot more? How much more could you actually ask them to shoot?
You can't even. It's not even settling for low danger either. Like, multiple legitimate high dangers.
Chances?
Right. Like,
you have 15 scoring chances in 10 minutes of power play time. That is a lot of scoring chances. 6 high dangers. Like, you could have been a little more dangerous, a little bit, but to have created 2 expected goals on the power play in this game is a crazy number. That's a really high number.
Yep. I know
nerdy stats and this isn't real and this is all made up. I hear you. I get it. That's great. But these were on ice results. This is the process. Way, 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 way better today. For them to have given up the shorthanded goal, they may never play that second unit again. Devon Taves had a really bad day.
Oh, boy, and brother.
Frankly, the best scoring chance that happened on their power play that did not come from Marty Necas came from Gavin Brindley. And that puck just gets through him in the first period. That should have been an easy backdoor tap in. We never got a replay of it. I'm going to watch the replay of the game tomorrow. Should have been a goal for him.
I've been saying this for months on the watch alongs, AJ. The Avs just can't score on the backdoor play this year. It just does not work for them.
They're not even scoring on a tip play, man.
You're not wrong. That Taves redirect the other day is the closest they've come to like an actual proper deflection style goal or redirect style goal.
Yeah.
And they can't. They've been few and far between.
I mean, specifically on the power play, they can't score on the tip, and they can't.
Sure.
They're not getting any junk. So it's like the only things that are going in are great shots.
Yeah.
It's so hard to score consistently on a unit when that's the only way you're getting goals. Like I think we have tomorrow off. Do we have tomorrow off?
No.
We do not have tomorrow off. So I will still probably, I'm inspired to go and look at every power play goal that they've scored this season and just see, because it feels like how many of them are on those two things. Tip plays and like random deflections that go in where it's just like good fortune. That stuff happens on power plays more often because everybody's standing in front of the net, very stationary, a lot more frequently. It's not happening for the Avs.
Yeah.
That's a huge, huge problem. It's not even so much, oh, hey, what is going on? How are the points getting scored? It's how are the points not getting scored that I think is really, really key here.
Sure.
You're seeing how teams are scoring against the Avalanche penalty kill, which is playing well. How are they getting? How come the Avalanche aren't getting that? It really does. It does make you wonder. Some of this is going to be systemic, and some of it is just hockey's just crazy, man. Hockey's just a wild sport. Stuff just happens.
It do some weird stuff. It doesn't help losing Gabe Landeskog in that exact situation.
Yeah.
So, of note there. Look, this is an interesting conversation we've been having. Brent Burns' last 2 games, pretty rough.
I agree at certain points. I think now that Sam Girard is gone, the ire has landed on Brent Burns because high profile mistakes, right?
Yep.
Like that's it's easy to look at that and say, okay, this is a high profile mistake, but like is Brent Burns doing something he shouldn't be doing on the own goal there?
I mean, I think he needs to do a better job of tying that player up.
I would agree with that, but I think what you're asking him to do on that play, I'm fine with. I just think he didn't execute it.
Sure, that's fair.
So that's an execution fail, right? Like,
yep,
that stuff happens. It's a bang bang, literally 4 seconds from the. He's battling with that guy in front, with Boldy in front for what? Maybe a full second, maybe.
Yeah, it's not long.
It's just doesn't quite get it done. So I'm willing to. I think there were so many problems with Brent Burns and Josh Manson as a pairing today that I'm like, yeah, Brent Burns had a bad day, but I think that the overall criticisms of Burns have started to get a little out of hand.
You may be right. I still think when you combine tonight's game and Dallas game for Burns, it's been a rough 2 games.
Yeah.
And I think you can make a strong argument Devon Toews was worse tonight, but the Avs are in a weird spot with Brent Burns because of his Iron Man. I don't think you can make the argument
that Toews was worse today. He wasn't good, but Brent Burns, with Brent Burns on the ice at 5v5 today, the Avalanche were outshot 23-5, and shots on goal were 11-0 in favor of Minnesota. Like, Brent Burns is the common link through all of that. Not all of that is his fault, of course. That's not how this works, but horrible day. This was his worst day as an Av, and I think it's by a wide margin his worst day as an Av.
I was trying to give him a little bit of a reprieve because I'm about to start a conversation of at what point do you need to play Nick Blankenberg for him and his Iron Man streak snaps?
No, never. That's never going to happen. Hockey doesn't work that way.
I understand.
We don't live in that world, man. If you want Brent Burns to have to sit in order to get a 7th guy to just give him a day off, you're going to have to Tanya Harding that thing. Like, you're going to have to get a Jeff Gillooly to go in there and kneecap him. And obviously, I'm not saying to do that. That's dumb. I'm just saying no NHL team is ever going to willingly sit a guy like this.
I get it. But is it not detrimental to the team to play a guy because of a game streak if he's playing poorly?
I think the thing that you can control here is that how often you play him.
Sure.
And
limit the minutes and whatnot.
Today I thought was a positive step in that regard because he was 5th on the Avalanche defensemen among 5v5 minutes. The problem is that he played like 7 special teams minutes.
Yeah.
7. I actually can't do math.
He racked up a lot of time.
Yeah. It was about 6 special teams minutes. That's a tough sell for me. I don't have a problem with him on the power play, the own goal, or on the penalty kill. It's on the power play. You got to take him off of that. It should be Sam Malinsky, and I guess if you have to, Devon Toews, but Burns should not be doing it. Should not be playing there. He's getting close to. He needs to be on your second PK unit only. That's the only non-5v5 minute that you're putting him there.
I'm good with that conversation. We do need to take our first break of the show, so let's shout out a few of our sponsors, including Volo Sports. They are back. Denver's most popular provider of adult social sports leagues, pickup games, and events. I did one last year with kickball. Some of the people that we played with in my friend group are still in the group chat, so it's a great way to meet new people, make friends, and be social. They offer a ton of sports: soccer, volleyball, pickleball, kickball, basketball, cornhole. There's so many sports I can't even pronounce them all. Many more than that, too. And you can play all over the city. You can Lodo, Rhino, Highlands, City Park, Cherry Creek, South Broadway, and more. Even if you're not in Denver, pretty much every significant city has a Volo chapter in it, so you can get in and play with them. Players can sign up as a free agent, a small group, or a full team, and all ability levels and backgrounds are welcome to join. Use code DNVR10 to get $10 off any Volo Denver League today. Jump in with Volo. It really is a ton of fun. If you want something to do for even a workout or just have some fun after work, check out Volo today. And if you get into a Volo League, you're going to need a car to get you there. Why not get into the official vehicle of DNVR, which is Toyota? They're also the official vehicle of the Colorado Avalanche, and they have a vehicle for everyone. Trucks have been a part of their DNA for generations. Whatever type of truck you're looking for, the Tacoma, the Land Cruiser, anything in between. They've also got great SUVs like the 4Runner, 17 different models with all-wheel drive available, and you got 16 different hybrid vehicles to choose from too. Even trucks like the Tundra iForce Max Hybrid. They've got you covered with rising gas prices. Toyota has tons of other options too. The most hybrids of anyone out there. You can get your new Toyota at your local Front Range stores, including AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Show in Littleton, Mountain State Toyota in Denver, Stevens and Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevens and Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota, again, the official vehicle of DNVR. Toyota, let's go places. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. Enough negativity out of me. Let's get to the 3 stars because the Avs won this hockey game. Star number 3, welcome back, Nazem Kadri. Played great, picks up an assist on that first goal that Nathan MacKinnon finishes. Back in the fold, and I'm not saying Kadri did this, but I'm not saying he didn't do it. The Avs are undefeated in extra time in this era of Nazem Kadri.
Perfect. They just, you know what he brings that they were missing in that format more than anything else? Swagger.
He do have swagger. It's true. The confidence is there.
He is aura personified.
No argument from me on that one. Kadri, how much of getting Kadri back is a vibes boost for Colorado, honestly, in the locker room?
Huge. It's huge, man. I mean, there's a belief there. What does it also tell a locker room when you're the number 1 team in the league and your front office drops 2 first-round picks to go out and to go and improve your team? If that is not the ultimate, all right, I did my job, now it's time for you to go and do yours. This is what these guys have spent their whole lives working for. The ones who have done it know what it takes. They know what it means to have Kadri back in that room. They remember what it was like when Kadri was just like a bundle of iconic moments during the 22 Cup run.
Yep.
They remember. They know what it's like. And the guys who don't, all they have to do is just look around and go, here's a bunch of guys who have succeeded at the absolute highest level. It's time for me. It's time for me to fall in line, do my job at peak job. Like it's huge for a locker room to get a guy like that back. And then for him to go out, like just lands, comes off the plane, rolls right back into the lineup. It's essentially an 11 a.m. game with the time change and everything that just happened. It's essentially 11 a.m. game. Nobody's actually awake, and he rolls in, bolt of lightning. And that's what he does. That's who he is. He is swagger.
Nailed it. No notes. Let's move on. God. The swag god. 91 swag god confirmed. Star number 2, Nick Waugh, scoring his first goal as an Av. And it's a big one. Now, AJ, I know...
all goals that he scores big goals?
Because he's big guy. Ha 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 ha. I got him. I mean, you were looking for a tip goal. I know it didn't come on the power play, but it did come immediately after a power play.
It kind of sounds like we're making the case that Nick Waugh should be on the power play.
Let's not go. I mean, on that second unit, I'm willing to try anything on that second unit.
Okay. All right. I mean, he has actually been a decent power play guy in his career on a second power play unit, not a top guy. Yeah. It is funny though. No, it's a great goal, and it's a great goal because look where it starts. I told you not to let me go this show without giving him kudos. So I'm just going to give some love to Yoel Kiviranta. His play to get the puck out of the defensive zone, it's fantastic. All worked all the way up the ice. That goal does not happen without Kivy
for sure
getting it going in his own zone. But the work that Nick Watt does along the wall, like, this is why you make this change. He's big. He's good there. He's a good battler. He has not really looked that out of place as an Av. It's still obvious that he can't play like at Av speed, but because he's so large, like he only has to take 3 strides and he's through the neutral zone, so you're fine. We'll see how he fits in the center spot. I'm still but what he did on the wall today is one reason why you're like, I am so confident that on a third line with Nazem Kadri as his center, this is gonna rule.
And what was super encouraging for me, you saw some of the foot speed problems today for sure, but you also saw multiple instances of him being super solid on the cycle for the Avs along the walls in the offensive zone. And he also does a good job, particularly on the goal he scores after the work on the wall. Yeah, he's not going to get there the fastest, but he understands where the soft spots on the ice are. He understands where he can get to be a threat. And he's never going to help you in the rush. That has already been made obvious. But
yeah, I mean, Parker Kelly did set him up with the way that Waugh drives that middle lane of the ice, it puts stress on a defense where they've got to make a decision. And Parker Kelly made a nice little chip play to him to spring him for like a little mini breakaway. It was pretty brief. Again, Jesper Wallstedt was fantastic today. Otherwise, the Avs could have pretty easily
scored
put
6.
4 up on the scoreboard. Yeah, like they were. The chances that they created were really good. It was sort of opposite of the Dallas game where they had a lot of shots on goal, but not a lot of really good chances. And they were very Carolina Hurricanes-y. Today, they looked a lot more like the Avs. Like it was a good number of chances, but the quality was also really good. And Waugh driving the middle of the ice on that play with Parker Kelly was like, he understands how to play the game. He's such a smart player. And on the goal, you see the way that he battles coming off the wall and fights his way into the middle of the ice and parks himself into prime position. It's perfect. Mm-hmm. It's exactly like, this is the value of the bigger guys. Anytime that we get all like, now we're so obsessed with size, like the way that he battles to the front of the net, that's where that 6'4" frame comes into play, because there's just nothing a smaller guy. Like if he's going up against Nick Blankenberg, I love Blankenberg's competitiveness. He cannot.
Nothing you can do there.
That Nick Waugh is a much larger human and walks in with an inherent advantage, and he understands how to use it. He's not soft. You're not going to get him confused with a Ryan Hartman or a Kachuk brother, these guys that play a hard game, but he's not a soft guy either. He understands how to use that size. We saw it on the goal today. Huge time for it. And his excitement for it, I was like, buddy, was Toronto that bad? You are amped.
And then our number 1 star is Nathan MacKinnon. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a version of this game where Nathan MacKinnon is the scapegoat and the reason the Avs lose in overtime.
Yeah, totally.
Not how it played out. He scores a fantastic goal off of the Kadri assist. It's a perfect shot. And ultimately scores the winning shootout goal. And look, when the Avs have needed a guy to step up post-Olympic break, Nathan MacKinnon and Marty Necas have been absolute nails for this hockey team. They are doing the thing that you are supposed to do when you are the superstar. And I'm giving MacK a little bit of credit. We've gone adventurous over the last couple of weeks with some of our stars. Tonight, I'm giving MacK his due.
They're 6-1 out of the break?
6-1.
Yeah, 6. Their only loss was that like weirdly chaotic back-to-back game against the Wild.
Yeah, with the made-up Makar call, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow, talk about game-changing. Anyway, I have no issues here. Nathan MacKinnon, the goal that he scores is a great goal. It's a great shot, and finishes with 9 shots on goal. A lot of those are really good scoring chances. Creates a couple for teammates. Fun fact? Did you know Colorado's top line, Kadri, MacKinnon, Necas, finished with 20 shots on goal?
I mean, MacK had half of them, or 9 at least.
Yeah, he had 9 of them. Yeah, and then it was a 6-5 split with the other.
I mean, that's That's dominance. Yeah.
You're talking like the Avalanche finished with what, like 38 shots on goal, 36 shots on goal.
20 of them came from them.
Came from
16
those
from the
three
rest
guys.
of the team. Yeah.
Yeah. So you really are looking at that line as like, Jesus. These guys, we were in the pregame show. It was like, how long is it going to take Kadri to get back up to speed?
7 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure. One shift. Like maybe during warmups, he was like, I remember how this goes. All right, we got this. Because he didn't look out of place for a single second. He was aces. And it starts with everybody playing off of MacKinnon.
Yep.
And this is why when everybody plays off of MacKinnon and through MacKinnon, it can work. Because when he is at his best, he is the best. How many guys is that true in the world? When they're at their best, they're the best player. It's true of like
a dozen.
Like, I was going to say 10. So
Sure.
we're in the same range. When he's at his best, he is the best. And that's what we saw today. I loved MacKinnon's game. The penalty in overtime, it's a penalty.
Yep.
It is.
100,
and it's
100%.
dumb. But it's not him being lazy and reaching. It's him being aggressive and bullying. Let the dog be the dog.
The problem was it was too aggressive. You get away with that call if you just bump him. If you don't give him the full cross check to the chest, they probably don't call it.
Also, if I mean, this is what Ryan Hartman does and why he's such an effective NHL player, because he can draw calls like that because everybody hates his guts and wants to bully him. But as soon as you try and bully him, he'll be like, like, okay. The game time goal. It's Hartman along the wall whining about not getting a call from Wah. That they went back and like, he was like, bro, he butt ended me in the face, and you're like,
yeah, well, you smacked Kadri in the face with a stick earlier in the game. Get over it.
I mean, also, like, he doesn't. Like, you guys are battling along the wall. You have to expect a little bit of contact.
You can't run your head into the butt of his stick and call it butt ending.
Yeah. I mean, it worked in the postseason against Dallas last year. What was it, Mason Marchment or Jamie Benn? One of those two did that to Josh Manson, and
I think it was Marchment, yeah.
What a joke. Anyway, I have absolutely no issue with like Nathan MacKinnon. Let the dog be the dog. If sometimes he gets a little off the chain and barks and barks and barks, it's going to happen.
Well, like, and then Minnesota didn't capitalize, and Nathan MacKinnon killed him. So
exactly. And then who ends this game? Who ends it? You needed somebody to step up one last time. Yahtzee.
Yep. Just like that. It's that easy. Those are our 3 stars of the game. We do need to shout out a few more of our sponsors, so let's hit them up here, including Xfinity. Xfinity's 5-year price guarantee. You can get intelligent, reliable Wi-Fi, and you can keep it at the same price for 5 years. Imagine Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together, that finds and fixes problems before you even know that they exist. Super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense, and it lets you stream the game even when the entire family is online. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part: no annual contracts, no hidden fees, and Xfinity's best equipment included. Look, a lot can change in 5 years. Kadri can leave your team, he can come back. You can win a cup, you can lose in the first round a bunch. It goes all over the place. But your Wi-Fi, it should stay put and be reliable. Lock in your price and unlock possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Of course, select plans only. Restrictions do apply. Head to Xfinity.com for more info. Xfinity, imagine that. And once you've got your Xfinity Wi-Fi all set up, you're going to want to get yourself over to ShadyRays.com, because Shady Rays are some of the best sunglasses out there. We all know that moment when you realize you left your sunglasses at the beach or on the roof of your car, or maybe it's at a gas station 100 miles back. It happens. Shady Rays has your back. They changed the game. These sunglasses are made for real life, seriously good looking, polarized, durable, and not stupidly expensive. And the wild part is, if you lose or break them, even on day one, Shady Rays will send you a brand new pair. No guilt trip, just replacements. So now you can actually wear your sunglasses without fear on hikes, at concerts, on the boat, wherever you go. Shady Rays is the eyewear that has your back. Go get them at ShadyRays.com, and you can use code DNVRSR for 40% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. That's code DNVRSR at ShadyRays.com. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. AJ, a couple of other guys I wanted to get into. We talked about this in the pregame because the pregame rush lineup had Kadri on the second line and Nichushkin up on the first line. You'll notice we saw one shift of Kadri on the top line, and that stuck. Yeah. Not just for Kadri here, but Nichushkin and Nelson together. I know they don't ultimately really get on the scoreboard today, but watching those two guys forecheck the Minnesota Wild was a work of art. They were all over them.
Yeah, it's interesting because they actually had one of their weaker games overall based on the numbers, but it also was like very contingent upon who's the third guy on their line. Because when it was Ross Colton, they struggled a little bit more. But when it was Parker Kelly, when it was some of these other cats, you're like, okay. And it didn't happen very long. Like when Marty Necas was out there with Brock Nelson, it did not go well at all. When Kiviranta got out there, it was great. Kind of strange. Sometimes hockey happens like that. That's all. But I do think those two guys, you continue. When we saw the lines that they had put out pregame, we talked about it. Leave these guys be. Nelson and Nichushkin are such good defensive guys, and the way that they play off of each other, keep them together. They ultimately did that today, thankfully. And I thought that line had one of its worst days, but it wasn't actively hurting them.
Well,
and then obviously like the Nichushkin shootout thing was sick. That was so sick.
This is a thing I've talked about a lot this year. If one of your worst days is a day where you still find ways to do effective things and play good hockey and aren't a complete black hole, your worst days aren't that bad.
Definitely. It's very true. This is, and this is also like a huge part of what makes you a good NHL player.
Yeah.
All of the guys in the NHL, when they're on their best, when they are maxed out, they're NHL players.
Yep.
When you're at your
what
worst,
are you on your worst? Yeah.
When you're at your worst, a lot of these guys, you're like, how's this guy in the NHL? Okay, it's usually 2-2. In a 10-game stretch, you usually get 2 of each.
Yep.
What's
your average?
What are you for the other 6 games? Largely determines what kind of NHLer you become.
A fair point. We do have.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. No. You're fine.
I'm about to bring us to our next segment. So, we do have live from the arena the courtesy call. Bailey Curtis live on the Xfinity mobile call-in line. Bailey, are the Avs going to give me a heart attack?
I cannot confirm, but this game's got a lot of little nuances to it. Cale Makar, he's leaving nobody alive in these games if we're going that route.
That, the Landy thing is unfortunate, but he hits Nelson and then also MacKinnon in this game.
And also a couple, Wild players who did not look too happy after taking that shot. So, I mean, again, nobody left for dead.
Hitman Kale out here for sure. Obviously, the Avs are able to pull it out. It's a 5-game win streak, but this is the first win with Nazem Kadri back in the fold. How is that locker room with his presence in there?
I mean, it's electric. Even some of the new guys who have really had no experience playing with him are like, you can tell the excitement. You can tell just how thrilled everybody is to have him back in that locker room or in that locker room or to be playing with him. It's kind of a surreal experience. Nothing but good things to say about him. And that was one of the worries, I think, coming into the deadline is you've got a guy who's on a really expensive contract, but he's also kind of crawling toward the end of his NHL career, kind of on the older side. So, there's some of that concern that he may not be the same player that he was when he left after the 22 Cup run. And he kind of put that to bed, and everybody in that room could not be more thrilled about it. It seriously, and I felt like during his presser, it was hard to take that smile off of his face. Like it was really, he just looked so happy to be back. You look at some of those comments and you think, oh, this guy's super media trained, and Nas really has a way of making you understand like this truly was the only place he wanted to go, and that entire locker room has welcomed him back with open arms, especially after the night he has tonight too. He even said, he was like, I really wished I could have put it away. That would have made it chance, just kind of put, he had the opportunity. He was like, that would have been so cool, and to have the opportunity to do it again. I mean, hindsight's 20/20, but you could tell he's thrilled, and so is everybody else.
Mac couldn't get the smile off of his face after that assist from Nas, so it's the feeling is mutual.
Oh gosh, and then you go to look at his face after the shootout, and it's like, okay, Mac's back. It's fine.
Yep. He only knows how to be one way. Expand it beyond Kadri, though. The rest of the new guys. Kulak to Nick Waugh for the game-tying goal. It's a beautiful tip. We're 2 games in. I'm not going to pretend like, oh, this is how it's going to be, but you have to feel pretty good about the Avs trade deadline today, right?
Absolutely. If we're talking about guys who are really showing out, I mean, obviously Nick Blinkenberg's not on the ice, but as far as everybody else who's playing for the Avs, they're making their mark. And that's kind of what Bednar started to expand on a little bit post-game was, he's obviously they're still learning, and that extends both to Waugh and I think even to Kadri too. Like there's little learning curves. Not every team stays the exact same for the handful of years that, maybe you've been gone, and everybody's got to kind of work either into that for the first time or back into it. And regardless of that, I think they're starting to find their groove and get into that. And Waugh was one of those guys who was like, it makes it really easy when you've got the kind of help that you do next to you. In his post-game scrum. And I think that extends to everybody. And when Kulak's able to step up the way that he was and do maybe a little bit more than what Bednar's kind of expecting, that's really all you can ask for.
Yeah, look, if you're going to get game-tying goals from Nick Waugh, if you're going to get those big type of plays, that's more than I'm asking for, frankly. So yep. I love it. Love that the fit has been immediate for these guys. Love that Bednar likes it. We'll play part of it later in the show, but Bednar presser seemed extensive today, Bailey. What was he going on about?
A lot of it has to do with Kadri and trade deadline and just exactly how good those guys have looked, and how nice it was to have him when they got him too. Like obviously going through visa and immigration and all that, it can take a long time. Look at Victor Olofsson on the other side of it, who still kind of waiting on that. They were able to get this done quickly for Kadri, and getting him back in that room and talking about the impact that he's had immediately and what kind of impact that these guys can have, talking about the depth that they have now at center. One of the things I love that Bednar touched on was, you've got that 5 center depth on your roster now. Like how do you deploy that? And what's the idea of, putting Kadri on the wing? He was very blunt in saying that's really just because Gabe is out. That is it. Yeah. And depending on how they use that down the line really is going to depend on, matchups and how different teams play and how they can deploy that. And it's that having that flexibility in your toolbox is a really dangerous aspect and thing to have on your team. And that's really the main kind of nail on the head type topic that he touched on, was just, you get on that trade deadline and you become better as a team.
What an absurd sentiment of, how are you going to deploy your 5 center lineup when most NHL teams are scrapping for 4 And you're
Yep.
like, I mean, if you wanted to lie about it, you've got Zakhar Bartikov and Parker Kelly down there as like 6th and 7th centers.
Right.
So you're just like, okay,
This is some
cool. Do you
Team
now
Canada
have as
level
many-
center stuff. Yeah.
Right. Do you now have as many centers as you do defensemen that you could just roll out there and be like, yeah, sure, we got this. This is fine.
And I love that Bednar is so calm after that comment too. He's like, it depends. Like it's no biggie that we have all of these guys at our disposal. We have all of these guys we can use. Bednar is like the most nonchalant about it. It's great.
And -2 on special teams tonight, Bailey, for the Avs. It is only one game. How do they stop it from becoming the disaster that special teams was before the Olympic break?
I wish I had a clear-cut answer for this, but it comes down to look at what went right. Look at what went wrong. And that doesn't have to just be for this game, too. Obviously, there are some things that worked really well in the last few before this. And like that's the simple answer for me, I guess. I mean, we've been trying to answer this question for months now.
62 games.
Right. So not falling back into that hole really comes down to not falling into that stubborn streak. You know what works. Being able to have that fluidity between MacK and Natchez on that left side, I mean, it's really helpful. And even on that right side, they started to create some interesting things too. Really comes down to that shot volume and making sure you're staying as fluid as possible. Like that's the only answer I really have. Look at how that was deployed in the last couple games. This one's maybe throw most of it in the trash, but there's some good to come out of it. I think it doesn't help that you've got Kale maybe becoming a little weary after the first period too, not willing to put as much on net, but it really comes down to that stubborn streak and eliminating that period, point blank.
Toyota chat saying number one answer is don't play against Jesper Wallstedt. Do you have a better power play?
This is true. I mean, Wallstedt, it's a comment I made on Twitter earlier in the game too. I think it was around the second period. I'm like, have yourself a game.
Yeah,
good.
He was
grief.
lights out.
If you're looking at it, I mean, he got the 3rd star in Arena today, and there is a very, very good reason for that. I mean,
Yep.
Played lights out. This game is a whole different game if Wallstedt is not standing on his head the way that he is for most of it.
So the power play side negative, the positive side, the Avs look competent in overtime in a shootout. What's changed there?
I wish I had a solid answer for that. Nuke has been a big surprise recently, and I say most recently, being that, maybe him kind of finding that groove in Dallas is the secret sauce there. I genuinely have no other thought outside of that. I mean, he's been lights out for this team, and to kind of find that spark. Martin Netjes, I feel like, has always had a decent streak on the shootout. He didn't find that today, but to find that in Dallas has been really nice. I don't know. Like, there's sometimes you're on it, sometimes you're not. I don't know. Things have been going so well for them post break that I'm just willing to give it to the upward trend of just how things are looking. You get a decent looking power play. The penalty kill starts to kind of mellow out a little bit, but things are starting to work for this team. You find chemistry, little grooves. You find maybe guys finding the net a little bit easier, finding, spending more time touching the puck before games, after games, during practice. Like, that's ultimately, I think, what it comes down to is you're trending upwards, and the shootout's just kind of something going along there. I love that he's found his groove with that.
It's been a good run post Olympic break here. The Avs have won 5 straight again, so official wagon status for the 3rd or 4th time this season. I don't have a ton of other notes here, Bailey. Do you anything you want to add on this one?
I think just for me, all these matchup against divisional opponents, the Avs deserve a little bit of a break. Coming up here too soon against some of their opponents, that it's been rough. But honestly, finding this streak with the way they've been able to win, been able to grind it out, hockey's fun to watch right now. Cue
No
phrase
kidding.
being right now. So, yeah, it's been awesome to watch.
Enjoyable one, even if there are frustrating points. Bailey, thank you for calling in. We're going to let you go. I'll do our winner's shot while you're not looking, so you're not jealous.
Oh, no. I'll do mine when we get home. It'll be fine.
There we go. Count it. Count it on the board. That was Bailey Curtis on the Xfinity Mobile call-in line. Go follow her on Twitter, Bailey Curtis with 2 Y's in Bailey. Always tweeting out the good stuff for us from the arena. And you did get us well over 100 likes, chat, so thank you very much. Got my winner shot here. Go get your Dr. Dubs. It's good to have these back. It's good to have the good stuff. All right. Let's move into the final period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. And we do have Jared Bednar for you. Bailey mentioned a little bit of it. It is a very long one, so we're not going to play it all. But let's hear some of the audio from Coach.
Peter, you want to lead us off or no? Sure. All right.
Why not?
Yeah.
Just what were your emotions seeing Nas back out there, and did you know you wanted to get him on the position?
I was pretty calm. I knew he was going to be in our lineup for a couple days now, so. But it was really good to see the warm welcome that our fans gave him at the start of the game, and during his little tribute thing. I thought I'd start him and put him with MacK and Marty and see how it looked, and I liked the way it looked. I thought they were dangerous right from the get-go at the start of the game and created a lot of dangerous scoring chances, so thought I'd leave them together. And, I knew at some point I was going to go him in the shootout. He's been good in the shootout this year.
Go ahead, Peter. Go ahead, finish it.
With the wing versus center, what was your thought process on wanting him on the wing rather than on the
No Gabe.
Yeah.
That's it. We needed him. I want him to play with our top-end guys, and in order to do that, for me, he's got to play on the wing right now.
D-Mac.
How did you go about telling him he was in a shootout? When did you?
I gave him a tap when I told him he was up.
Before the shootout started, or
No, when it's time to shoot. Yeah, those guys are most of the high-end skill guys. They're studying the goalie, the guys that go before him, and they're ready and they want to go. I know Naz well enough to know that he wants the puck on his stick in that situation. A lot of our guys do.
Corey.
Gabe was kind of joking around with us after the game, and he showed us his cup medal. Just what happened between then and now that he's healthy.
Well, it's a lower body injury, and not a comfortable one, and that's the time frame that the doctors gave us. So,
Ryan Boldy.
Just overall thoughts on that game. It seemed pretty tight. It's an important game against Minnesota, kind of playoff deal.
I liked our game a lot. I thought our checking game was in order. They're going to create some chances. They're a good team. They have a lot of skill. But I thought we checked really well. First period, I thought we were really dangerous. Second period, we started out the same way. So I would go past the 30-minute mark where I was really happy with our game. Started spending a little bit. We extended some shifts late in the second, and they kind of kept us in our zone too much. But I thought we did a nice job defending, keeping the high danger chances to a minimum. And then it was kind of evenly matched third, right? We give up the lead and we had to go get it back. But everyone was contributing throughout our lineup, regardless of how much ice time they got. They stayed ready and focused. And we find a way to get it done. So I have no complaints really about the way we played tonight, especially at the end of this stretch of games that we're on and the road trip we're coming back from. I thought it was a well played game.
Colleen and Jesse.
I think Lafleur gets his first in the half. Just what are your thoughts on his play and his game?
I think he's trying to figure it out, systematic stuff, playing safe, being responsible. I think it's kind of his mentality, and it's my job to help drive out a little bit more offense out of him, get him skating, and being impactful on both sides of the puck. And I think that like we've seen that from him in the past in Vegas. He's played fourth line center a lot, the checking role, third line center a lot, the checking role, and he's moved up the lineup with different guys. Like for them at the time, it was Carlson and Smith. He played with Hurdle, and you saw some good production. I think he has that in his game, and I thought he looked much more comfortable already just tonight. Like in the checking side of it, he was physically skated. He made some plays through the neutral zone. Really good job getting to the net and getting a tip on that one to even it up. So he's, that's some production right away, and I think he can only get better with us.
Jesse, then Eric.
Coach, maybe some of the same answer that you were talking about with Ryan, but the intensity really seems like it's flipped up coming out of this break. Like Naz even looked like he was playing like fast forward there a bit versus how you felt your team has handled that step up in intensity.
I think we've been really good. Yeah, I mean we're playing hard every night. And we're getting results too. And that's not an easy stretch. The 5 and 7 coming out of the break was a bear. We've tried to give our guys as much rest as possible, so we're energized. We can play with that intensity and passion, and I think they've been doing it. Like that was not an easy game. Big emotional win in Dallas. Come back, and that's a grind, and then so you're a little bit worried about the energy coming tonight, the first game back off that long road trip, but I thought we started well, we played well the whole night, so guys are obviously handling it. You can expect the intensity. It's only going up from here, right? We're in the stretch run, less than 20 games to go for everybody pretty much, and everyone is fighting for position, fighting to get in the playoffs, fighting to hold on to their spots, fighting for home ice, and we're part of that, right? So I think if you're expecting to have easy nights at this point of the year, you're kind of in the wrong league.
Go Eric Evans.
You want the rest of Bednar's whole interview, you can go listen to it on our YouTube channel after you finish the show. It's up on there. Also, great time to join us and watch Bednar coach in person on March 28th. We're doing another Ball Arena takeover. Come join us for that. Come have a good time. Come watch a game with the DNVR fam. It's always a good time, even when the Avs lose. Although their record is actually quite good when we do takeovers. So get in on it. You can go to thednvr.com/events or use that QR code on screen to get your tickets. Party bus to and from the arena, free beers. It's a great time. You can't go wrong with the takeovers. Also, consider becoming a diehard if you really want to support us. You get first access to things like takeover tickets and things like that. You also get access to the 10,000 words AJ has written in the last 2 weeks about all the Avs moves and lineups. Is it 20,000? Am I? Yeah, I don't know how much it was.
I haven't actually gone and counted, but it's a lot.
Go read it all. Become a diehard today. You get a t-shirt with your membership. That Nas new shirt back. I guess it's old new shirt, an option. The new wagon shirt, an option. Tons of other great access when you become a diehard, and it helps support us. So do that. AJ, plenty more to talk about in this game. Whether it was not as bad of a game as Brent Burns had or not, a rough one for Devon Toews. And now, I am willing to chalk up a significant amount of this to Matt Boldy is just Devon Toews' kryptonite. Because whatever that guy does, Devon Toews can't seem to handle it.
Yeah,
but
it really is crazy that such a smart player just gets sucked in by whatever Matt Boldy is doing, because Boldy is so good with the deception that he is constantly, it looks like he's doing something else, and then it's a very drastic shift. And the hands and the intelligence have always been his main selling points, and Devon Toews getting eaten up by it lately. So
yeah,
that's not been great. Oh,
yeah. Thank you for renewing the membership. Let's go. Big appreciate on that. It's a concern for me with Toews. Obviously, we've talked about his regression this year in a number of ways, but where it becomes a bigger concern for me is when you're having a night where, okay, the Manson-Burns pairing is having a bad night and Devon Toews is having a bad night, and then it feels like your options are extremely limited with the Avs defense if that happens.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think today was a good example of the importance of the Brett Kulak edition, because when Toews is having a tougher day, they can give a few more minutes to Brett Kulak and cut some of the 5v5 minutes elsewhere. That's exactly what we saw. We saw Devon Taves actually ended with the most 5v5 ice time of the Avalanche defenders, which is odd.
Interesting.
But at 16:46, Makar was at 15:42, but Kulak was at 15:25 and Malinsky at 15:16. So they were
really
each
cut
within
that Manson Burn pairing. Yeah.
Oh, cut it. Manson down at 12:37 and Burns at 12:55. So their 5v5 time got cut. This was one of the things we had talked about that we liked so much about the Kulak edition, is that he can be the fixer. You're not. Had they gone out and gotten a third pairing guy,
3, yeah.
Exactly. Had they gotten like an Urho Vakanainen or a Simon Benoit type as your third pairing guy, you wouldn't be able to do this. But with Kulak, there's enough upside there that, okay, we like what's happening with him. We like his game. And then you see what they did as a pairing today. Malinsky and Kulak, 10 minutes and 3 seconds together at 5v5. Shots on goal were actually 7-5 in favor of the Wild, but scoring chances were 6-3 and high danger chances were 4-0 in favor of the Avs. So shots on goal favored Minnesota, but all the good stuff favored the Avalanche by a lot.
It's worth noting that's exactly what defensive defensemen do. There are a lot of defensive defensemen in the league that operate, and they're going to be on the wrong side of shot on goal totals because they're playing defense, not offense. But if they're doing that and limiting the dangerous chances, that's how it's supposed to function.
The thing with Kulak is also he had like 9 points on the season. Yeah, he had 9 points on the season when he got to Colorado.
Yeah.
He's got 2 points now in 7 games for the Avs. And today, like, there's no frills. There's nothing sexy about what he's doing, right? And the shot today that Wah tips, it's see puck, shoot puck.
Yeah, pretty basic stuff. Yeah.
He makes the decision with what he wants to do with the puck. He keeps it moving. For a guy, it's always been interesting to try and square the fact that he doesn't have very high point totals with somebody who's as active in the offensive zone as he is, because he keeps it moving and he makes good decisions. He extends possessions a lot. It's not just what he does in his own zone that makes him valuable. And he's been on some pretty good teams. So I've always been a little confused as to why his point totals aren't a little bit higher because of what we saw today. Good opportunity, just puts it on net, and a good thing happens, gets a point. That's how he's gotten both of his points with the Avs so far. I would not be surprised. The Avalanche need to start to lean into, as the Manson Burns thing is continuing to be a struggle. They need to lean into, maybe this is more of a second pairing now with Kulak and Malinsky. And as that happens, the quality of line mates, certainly now that Nazem Kadri is your ideal third line center, some of these point totals might start to explode, because what he's going to do is going to generate extra possessions, extra scoring opportunities for lines.
We are in overtime here. The conversation continues online at thednvr.com. AJ, what else you got for me here?
I mean, I think I really wanted to get into Kulak, so I'm glad that we did that. One just last thing that I kind of want to touch on, not incredible, like it's not incredibly relevant to today's game specifically.
Sure.
But it's going to be really hard to pull Gavin Brindley out of the lineup at some point. Bardakov had a really nice scoring chance today, and that was good. Like that, I really wanted him to get that.
Brindley's just so consistent at creating chaos.
Yeah. And he's always on the ice for something good happening, and the way how hard he plays. I was watching him a little bit today, just going like the guy plays with so much juice.
Yep.
That it's gonna be a tough one. Logan O'Connor sounds like he's getting close to coming back. You put Logan O'Connor and Gavin Brindley in your bottom six for the next couple of weeks, I think that's gonna be a lot of fun.
I mean,
and not player specific, but a little bit of extra love to how the Avalanche have come out of this break. They're 6-1, and 5 of those 7 games have been against teams that are in playoff spots right now. And that will continue.
Good.
They play Edmonton, who's in a playoff spot, Seattle, who's in a playoff spot, and then they get Winnipeg and Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh's in a playoff spot too.
They
so, like,
also sold.
A lot of yeah, and like Winnipeg is like climbing back into it because the bottom of the West race is so bad.
Yeah,
that it's like a team on pace for an 85-point season is suddenly like, there's a playoff contender, you know, like it's kind of funny. But I do think some special love here. It's not something we've talked a whole lot about. Yes, these last two have been in the shootout, but wins over Utah, Anaheim, Dallas, and Minnesota coming out of the break. They could have fallen flat, did not.
They did the job in crunch time, no doubt about it.
Yep. They've been doing a great job. As long as they keep this going, man, they might have realistically locked up this division today.
It's on the Brindley thing. LOC gets back. I think it's pretty easy. Bartikov's the first guy out.
Yeah.
You get one of MacKinnon or
Lecky are out.
Yeah. You get one of Landy or Lecky back. I think you and I are probably sitting Kiviranta first.
Maybe. Brindley, with Brindley, the big thing is there's got to be a little bit of production to come with it.
You're right.
Just a little. And the game-winning goal against Chicago was awesome. He needed that. There's got to be more than that. He's got to find his way to a little bit more offense than that.
Well, and that's what I'm getting to. Even if you put Kivy out first, a fully healthy lineup, you're not sitting LOC. You're not sitting Parker Kelly for Gavin Brindley. It's just a tough story.
Yeah. Of course. You're not. There's no way you can sit those guys. Gavin Brindley's play, you could love Gavin Brindley, but in no way has justified for that. No way.
Yeah.
Especially LOC, you need to get him games.
Yep.
I mean, Parker Kelly has 15 goals. He's not coming out of your lineup ever.
Right.
But LOC needs the games. He needs the games to try and get up to speed as much as possible. So I would very much like to see him back in the next week. I would like to see him back on Tuesday against Edmonton.
I mean,
I'm being super greedy here.
You're skating in practice. Get in, bud. You're good to go. You had one real practice. Let's go.
That's right. That's all you need. If he goes on the Seattle Winnipeg trip this week, I think that's a huge win for the Avalanche.
Yep.
That gives him right around a month of regular season time.
Yep.
To kind of settle in. So it's
we do need to get to our super chats here, so let's shout some of those out. 27 Swede bucks from Go Gal. If healthy, is this team better than 2022 on paper?
I actually really liked Jared Bednar's answer about this because he said no. If these guys also win the Stanley Cup, then we can have that conversation. And I think that is very fair.
Yeah, true.
I think that is very fair. If we're not going to just sweep away that answer and you want an honest answer from me, I like the forwards better. Certainly down the middle is much deeper, much more dangerous. You don't really have that team had Andre Burakovsky on the third line. This team has no equivalent of that.
I agree.
I think that's the big difference in the forward core.
You're closer in the sense of a healthy lineup has Nazem Kadri on the third line, but
right, but not 2022 Nazem Kadri who's having an 87-point season.
Right.
This is more of like a 50-point Nazem Kadri.
Yeah.
The defense, I think, is my big concern there. But you remember in that 22 run, Eric Johnson was he was still solid.
Bowen Byram was elite defensively.
Bowen Byram had the best days of his NHL career in that run, and why we were like, this guy's going to be fantastic.
Yep.
And that was the best we've seen of him in his NHL career. Jack Johnson is like the big weak link there because you remember he played over half of their run. So 1 through 6 on defense. This version of Taves is way worse than that version of Taves. So it's tougher. The goaltending you want to think is better, but
well, the goaltending is also complicated, right? Because Kemper missed half of that playoff run.
He got his eye gouged out by Ryan Johansson in round 1.
Yeah.
And as much as we love Pavel Francouz, he's a backup. And he was a backup on that run. He had a couple of great games, but you could see why he wasn't a starter in that Edmonton series where he came in and really great.
Scraped by the end of the series. Yeah.
As the series went on. And the Avs are putting themselves in this position where you're like, oh, both goalies are great. But when you're in a 7-game series, you have to push the right button on when to roll with the other guy. With Kemper, it was like if Kemper's healthy, he's in. You were good with that. He'd been great all season. He was in. And all love to Frankie, who went 6-0 in that run.
Right.
But yes, this is it's definitely a team that I think can push for that kind of conversation, but Bednar's right. They've got to win 16 postseason games, and then we can have the conversation. It'll be really hard to top the 16-4 aspect of it, but
look, if they go 16-3, they're better. All right,
straight up 16-3, and we're not even having a conversation about it.
$5 from Josh. Happy early birthday to Burns, but man, him in OT on the PK was terrifying. Rather see him in a shootout.
Could you imagine? How deep would you have to get in a shootout for you to
see Brent Burns? Yeah, that's 12, 13, 14.
I was going to say 15.
I mean, he did play forward once upon a time in the non-shootout era, but you know. Yeah. I mean, look, despite the goal today, one of the big positives of Brent Burns is he is pretty good on the PK. So,
yeah.
I don't know that I have that much of a problem with it. Despite it.
And there are a lot of like isolated things where you're like, oh, I want Burns to do this differently or that differently. And then you get to the end of the game and in his own zone, because what he's paid to do is prevent scoring chances and high danger chances. And then you get to the end of the game and you see one high danger chance against 4 scoring chances. And you're like, guy kind of drives me insane, but these results, they work, man.
It's just what you said. One too many of the big mistake, despite the good numbers. Like, I think that's where the frustration comes from. Next super chat, big $27-28 from Connor, who says Taves has been straight up awful lately, and overall this year as a whole hasn't been great for him. For everyone saying he just had a kid, yes, that's valid, but playoffs are close. He needs to get it together straight up. Do you need better out of Devon Taves? Yeah, for sure. But, and I'm not saying Taves is this guy necessarily. It's not unheard of to see that step up. Look no further than Josh Manson over the last handful of years for the Colorado Avalanche, where his regular season performance is all over the place. And then you get into the playoffs and that dude just turns into a monster.
Yeah. Big level up. Yeah.
Can Taves do that? I guess we'll find out. But
I'm not super worried about Taves overall, just with the acceptance that it's not as good as it once was. Which sucks, and that makes everything a little bit harder. But I'm gonna maintain the hope that, as you're saying, when the postseason starts, we're gonna get much better out of him.
I think it's a little deceiving. Like, yes, these last 2 games, I do not think Taves has been any good. But post-Olympic break, he did score a goal. I think there have been some upticks in his play in some of these games.
Game-winning goal.
Yeah, no kidding.
Goal too.
Right,
big goal.
There are reasons to believe there's some goodness underneath. I'll put it to you that way.
Yeah, I don't think it's all bad. I think it's become really easy, especially in the world of like instant analysis and reactions to things that have just happened, and you don't have time to sit with anything anymore. I think it's become really easy to just be like very binary in how you look at it. This guy good, this guy bad. But with Taves, it's his success was always so subtle, but right now his mistakes are nothing. There's nothing subtle about them.
No subtle, yeah.
And that, I think, is one reason why it's just it feels a little grimy at the moment.
I mean, the thing is, you need 16 wins to win in the playoffs. One game performance will never define you in the NHL.
Yeah.
It's about the complete package. And like you've said, the complete package, Taves is worse. He's also not the complete disaster that we've seen in a game like this one.
Yeah.
One more super chat here from Beckwith. I got up at 3 a.m. to watch this game in Japan. I am not a wise man, but I am happy as I am a happy Avs fan. Happy to see Nasty 91 back in the burgundy and blue.
Yes.
It's fun, man. It's a vibe to have him back for sure.
It is. It is. When Bailey was talking about what it was like having him in the room, all I could think in my brain was, "This is what culture is."
Yep.
You take a guy in Nazem Kadri that was viewed as kind of a pariah in NHL circles. This is a guy that's going to hurt you. He's never going to make a big play. He's never going to be able to win the big one because he's, he makes too many mistakes. He plays a selfish game, all that, right? And I think something happened with that last suspension with him where he was like, I can't continue to be this guy.
Yeah.
And he has walked the line better and better and better every year. This year, he is like a plus 25 or something in penalty differential.
Yep.
His penalties are way down. He's still drawing a ton. Forever Bob Ross, baby. But he has changed enough of his style that he is a contributing player in a lot of winning ways and has mitigated some of his own downsides. And I hope that continues. But you also see like the relationship here between organization and player. They believed in the player. They stuck with the player. The player finally broke through and became the best version of himself in that organization. Left for money. It happens. It's one of those things. You don't ever begrudge somebody for that. And then comes back and it's like, this is culture. Like this is why guys want to play for this organization.
Yep. Leave it on that. We'll get out of here for the day. We will be back tomorrow for an off-day show, so come join us for that. And the season keeps rolling. It's games every other day for the next month, basically. So hop on board.
For the next month.
Like and subscribe. You know where to find us here at DNVR. Make sure you go check out all the post-game content, whether it be Bailey's interviews, AJ's piece, whenever that gets done, my review. We'll have it all for you. You know where to find us. This has been the DNVR Avalanche podcast live from the Toyota Lounge, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.